Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Hey, girlfriends, how are you? It is Wonderful Working Wednesday, Winning Wednesday. We're glad to have you. Oh my goodness, the day has just been popping, popping, popping. I'm glad you guys are here. Type your name in the chat. Tell us where you're calling in from. It's going to be a great show. How to work and stay motivated and be successful when the world is crazy all around you. So we're glad that you're here. This is Sabrina Goodwin Monday from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We got issues. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Michael, I don't hear anything. I'm on com one. Should I call in on my number? I can call in.
Hello. It is your girl, Caterina, coming to you today. It is your girl, Caterina, coming to you. The Force of Friendship. We are here on We Got Issues Radio. We are excited to be at 9:10 a.m. The Superstation WFDF coming to you out of Detroit and broadcasting around the world. I'm excited today.
Yeah, I can hear you. Everything is
yesterday,
good. Am I good?
Chris, was almost 90 degrees, and today my coat is back on. It is pouring rain in Chicago, and my internet is special. Everything is going on, but I'm here, and I'm so excited about today's show, today's topic. Yesterday was so just heart-wrenching, but such an important conversation. And I know tomorrow's show will be amazing. I'm your girl, Caterina Harris Earl from Chicago, Illinois, and I am going to pass it right to my co-host today, Sabrina Goodwin Monday, or Gloria. One of them is co-hosted. So Sabrina, seriously. I mean, I'm going to share a little bit about what's taken place today in the news, but North Carolina, a lot happening in North Carolina in the news, a lot. So talk to us.
A lot. I'm not proud. I'm not proud to say I live in North Carolina right now. We got issues. We got issues, and I don't know how they cannot release the tape of Anthony Brown Jr. Just release the doggone tape so we can see what's going on. Then we don't have to question the family side and the police side. Just put the video out there and we can get on with the investigation. It's sad. It's tragic. It keeps happening. Oh, we got issues. I feel so bad for the family. No closure whatsoever. And somebody's got to step in and say, release that videotape now. And if not, it's going to be ugly in those streets, and rightfully so. We want transparency. That's what we want. But another day, we got to be better in the USA. That's all I got to say. Gloria, how you doing in South America, girl? Gloria?
Great. Can you hear me? I'm here. Can you hear me? Oh, my God. The telephone, the cell phone, any phone. I mean, for real. I am very excited to be here with you guys. I'm excited to be here with you guys. Can you hear me okay? Oh, my goodness. It is just so crazy that if you can hear me.
Yes. We got you.
Okay, they can hear you. Okay, let me just calm down for a minute. You guys, seriously, I get so news that's going on. So I'm glad to be on We Got Issues, because if I know one thing, if I tune in to 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, to the We Got Issues from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, I'm going to find out what's going on. I'm going to find out the real deal. So I'm going to start with the deal shared on up to Detroit, Michigan, with super bad glasses on. Go ahead, Crisette, Ellis.
Hey, everybody. It's a great day. It's a great day in the D. It's so good to hear you, Gloria. It's so good to see you. We're excited to be here. I know it's so much that is going on in the world. Yes, Sabrina, I am with you. We need transparency. Show the video. Right now it's so many people that are thinking, something is going on. Are they erasing the tape? Are they doctoring the tape?
Exactly.
And if you just release the tape, you put aside all of the speculation. But I mean, come on, they should have learned. Trust me, we've been down this road so many times that I don't care what state you're in, every single police department should know right now what they need to do in order to have transparency, the protocol, absolutely, in order to have transparency, so that you calm to as much as you can the family, and then all of us that are wanting to know what went down. So I mean, that's in the news. And then you guys, come on, Rudy Giuliani, shut up.
I heard that all the way over here. For real.
Okay,
you heard that.
Just when you thought it was crickets, just because you haven't heard a lot of noise, just because it hasn't been all in the news, after Donald Trump and his administration left, we were, felt like we were getting back to normalcy, and, wasn't a whole lot said. But you best to know that there have been some people behind the scenes that have been working. So this is going to be really, really interesting. The feds, you guys, went and raided his home on today and took out
his
office.
His office.
Okay, his office.
Yeah.
Okay.
His office and his
places. Both places.
Okay.
And this is from 2019. This is from 2019. So don't act like it just started when Biden got in office. Okay.
No, absolutely. But this is the thing. The whole tip is that they wanted to do some things when Trump was in office, but the powers that be kind of shut it down. They shut it down. Well, let me tell you, it ain't shut down. It is not shut down. So this is going to be really, really interesting to see, when people start going through your computer and through your cell phone. Some of us ain't smart enough to erase stuff. They can go back and the feds can find what they need. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Caterina. Let's be clear.
With my low budget stuff, I can find some stuff you thought you deleted. So trust, they got the technology. Okay, you ain't erased nothing. All right, they can pull stuff. They can pull stuff out your printer just because it went through the printer. They could tell what you printed. I mean, oh yeah, girl, I'm trying to tell you. So this is today, y'all. This is not today's topic, but history is being made today. Tune in 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's the first 100 days of the presidency. Congress prepares for this strange and extraordinary presidential address. It actually ties into what we're talking about today, because everything has been strange about what we're into. The House chamber usually will have 1,600 people. We'll hold just 200 spaced out attendees this year in order to allow for social distancing. Everyone in attendance will wear a mask. First Lady Biden and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff. So that will be, history will be in attendance and will be joined, but they won't have any White House guests. Normally there's big guests. Normally there would be all of the Supreme Court would be there, but only Chief Justice John Roberts will be in attendance. But for the first time ever, we will see two females sitting behind and an African-American sitting behind the president. So that right there, I don't care, Republican, Democrat, Independent, that's a round of applause. Okay, we one step closer to the big seat. So get excited. That is going to be really, really interesting and exciting to watch. So today's topic, we are talking about how to win when the world is in chaos. And I just want to tell you, I just went through, and please understand that as I give this list, I'm not doing it lightly because every one of these issues is a real issue. But these are just some things, y'all, that have taken place in our very recent past. Hearing about locusts in Africa, fires in Australia, the election, the loss of Chadwick Boseman. Are we going to war with Korea? George Floyd. The Ebola had a comeback. Harry and Meghan broke up. Of course, COVID. We lost Kobe Bryant. Impeachment. Harvey Weinstein. The stock market crash. The Black Lives Matter protests. Jeffrey Epstein. Then we heard about the murder hornets. There was an explosion in Beirut, which we are still very heavily involved in our ministry. Of course, the election of Kamala Harris. The fires on the West Coast, where I literally got to the point that I could not breathe. The loss of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Trump, impeachment, not once, not twice. Him testing positive for COVID. What's going on? A new president, Alex Trebek, y'all. Vaccine and an attack at the Capitol. That's just a few things.
Wow.
So I'm holding up for the girls on social media. These are some basic emotions. And just nod your head as you're driving and listening in. Call us at 313-776-7800. We want to hear from you on
No.
313.
That's the wrong
778.
number, okay? We already don't have no callers. We're really not gonna have no callers.
Crazy, bossy, sassy, messy, crazy, bossy, sassy. Which one? What's the number? What's the number?
313-778-7600.
Now, you know, we've been practicing it. We've been practicing that number from 4 to 4:15 every day. We practice the number every day.
So, have you felt the emotion? These are the 6 main emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, and surprise. We have felt so many emotions during this. And yet, as women, we all are entrepreneurs. We all are big goal setters. We all are hungry for more. We all are full of capacity in what God has given us. How do you manage to focus and still be passionate about pushing through for a goal when the world is in chaos? And so I want to pass it to our girl, Gloria, who really has modeled emotional management for all of us for so long. And Gloria, can you just talk about, what would you say? How do you even do it? Is it even worth doing it when there's so many other things that are fighting for your attention?
Okay, so when you were reading that list, my emotions were going up and down with every person that you read, every single person that you read. And yesterday's show was a true testament to the power of emotional management, because when we have been through some horrendous life experiences, and I can honestly tell you, I don't know too many people who make it to 20 or 25 years old who have not made it through some horrendous or hard times. And so people choose emotional management when your life is being sucked out of you, when your oxygen is being sucked out of you. I totally remember when the Capitol was going down. I was glued to the TV set. And then a couple hours later, I knew I had to do some work. So my point is that I'm very grounded in what I do changes other people's lives. I'm grounded in what I do changes people's lives. And as craziness happens around me every day, all day long, for me, as it happens around me, and I get emotional about it, I start to get myself back to where I need to be, because people are dependent on my status of my mind, not my status of where I be, the status of my mind. I can honestly say to you that winning is a part of what I love to do, but I love to do it because my number one core, my core is to be a strong role model. And when we hear each of our stories and the people that we talk about, I mean, the woman yesterday, our guest yesterday, so many of our guests have had to manage in the worst of times. And so we're talking about personal worst of times, and we're talking about our country's worst of times. Then we're talking about our neighbors' worst of times. And so if you let everything go, you're the one on the couch sucking your thumb in the fetal position. That's what I know. I know emotional management is tough, but I also know that the worst party you can have is a pity party. And if you're not very careful, you can't be strong in what you want to do if you want to help make a change. So when Black Lives Matter came out and we were in the throes of the epidemic, I personally said, I'm not going out there to the street, but I am going to do something. I'm going to fuel the energy. I'm going to give the money. I was very intentional about what I could do and very clear about what I couldn't do, very sad about what I couldn't do, but I am grounded in what I do changes lives.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. Y'all, during this time, the COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting economic recession have negatively affected many people's mental health and created new barriers for people that have already been suffering. 4 in 10 adults in the U.S. have reported symptoms of anxiety and depressive disorder. So our hustle has changed. And to say that it has not affected each of us individually, we've talked about this on our show. And today we're talking about how to win in when the world is in chaos. And so, Sabrina, can you talk about how has your hustle been different during this time? And how have you had to readjust and pivot and put your crown back on so you can keep on doing what you do, which is win? Everybody in the Monday House wins.
Yeah, you know what, Caterina, thank you for this conversation. I believe that it's had to be a decision to stay in a winning mentality, because when so many people are losing around you, you have to deal with the real, and be empathetic to that's going on around us. But for me, it was just making a conscious decision. And I will tell you, some days I'm better than others. Some days the news zaps me and I have to sit down. I have to listen to my soul, listen to myself. And that's when I get quiet. I put some gospel music on. I get the Bible, I get quiet, and that feeds my soul. So I think for me, first, it's a decision that no matter what's going on, I'm grateful. So I'm counting my blessings. Count my blessings. We're so grateful to be free, to do what we do as entrepreneurs, to, like Gloria said, many people count on us in our leadership roles. And so if I'm down, we're already down, but if I'm down as the leader, everybody around me, if I'm down as the mother of this household, you know, it feeds and fuels your feelings and emotions, feed everybody else. And so I make the decision every morning, it's going to be a great day. I'm going to manage my emotions to the best of my ability. I'm going to reduce all the feelings. I write them down. If I'm feeling all those feelings that you listed, I identify how I'm feeling. I am a writer. I journal, and I make sure that I'm in touch with how I'm feeling so that I can move through those feelings. And like I say, sometimes I'm really good at it. Other days, I will give myself a check mark at the end of the day, say, Sabrina, you didn't win in that area today. And I think that we have to give ourselves grace. We talk about that a lot, but feeling it, finding out about it, moving through that fire, and understanding where you are. But innately, we are winners. We teach winning. We are winners. We're happiest when we're winning. And so that's what we work for, is the win, daily wins. No matter what it looks like. I know lots of people have lost. And so we have to identify that and understand it, but don't let that dampen our winning spirit. We still, somebody has to be out here winning and shedding light. This show, we said we want to do it because we want to be love, light, laughter, and lessons. In this dark world, even some days, you guys, when life is heavy, it's like, I don't know if I want to do the show today. I'm not feeling it. But again, I make up in my mind, who has God called you to be, Sabrina? You show up no matter what. And so that's kind of how I get through it, is managing my mindset.
This is so good. Pitiful or powerful. It's a daily decision, but it's a moment by moment decision. I say to myself over and over and over again, my joy is non-negotiable. So many things affect my happiness. I get sad. I'm a crybaby. Most people that don't know me well don't necessarily know that about me, but I could cry. I ain't Sabrina crybaby. I'm a different kind of crybaby, but I can feel like empathize with people so much.
Classy, bossy,
I'm next level crybaby. I'm high level. There are levels to it. Levels.
Right.
Okay?
But I'm telling you, it's just, you talked about, Sabrina, mindfulness. This is something that's been really important during this time. Mindfulness has been a popular topic when it comes to self-care during this pandemic, and with good reason. It can help you stay focused, calm, and in the moment. Dr. Albers agrees, stressing the need to stay rooted in the present. Using mindfulness and trying to control the present is important. We can't control what's going to happen in the next month or several months down the line, but we can really control today. So I started waking up asking myself, what can I control today? And just literally right before we go to the break, you guys, I just want to challenge you to, sometimes you have to stop, literally separate yourself from your devices and just breathe and literally count the breaths in your body. Just literally to feel the moment, to focus, to kind of bring yourself back to why it's so important. I mean, y'all, you can only control your environment, yourself. And so so many things, we've got to cast our cares on him. And so this is really, really important. Chris, when we come back from the break, working in ministry is just huge this time, because not only are you supporting yourself, but you have got to keep winning so that you can support people that are hurting and have experienced loss. So we thank you guys for listening to We Got Issues. We got to go pay the bills. We're going to go to a commercial break. Call us. Let me see if I can get the number right. 313-778-7600. And make sure you visit our website at theforceoffriendship.com. We'll be right back.
All right. Okay, let me turn up my volume here. Hey, friends. Let me get this out of my ear. Well, how are you winning in the middle of this mess? Do you continue to work?
I just, everything went blank. I mean, I couldn't hear.
Energy, I think excellence. That's my mantra. It's always energy and excellence, Sabrina. Energy and excellence. Like I said earlier, sometimes I miss it, sometimes I hit it. How are you guys handling what you're handling? How are you feeling? I know sometimes I have to just turn off the doggone news and put some music on that really elevates my mindset and makes me feel better. You do know music is the heartbeat of the soul. When I tell you these girlfriends are amazing. You want to surround yourself with a circle of girlfriends who can get the job done. They snap you out of however you're feeling. What I'll tell you about these girlfriends, Caterina is very thoughtful. She's very mindful. She's very calculated in her thinking. That's the kind of girlfriend she is. She's a thinker. She really is a big thinker. And you want to have feelers and thinkers in your tribe because they feed you different emotions and they do different things for you as a girlfriend. Gloria is a thinker. She's a thinker and a doer. And so she doesn't feel a whole lot. She's very calculated. She is going to tell you like it is. She is not going to hang in that emotion. She's going to move past the emotion. I am a feeler. So sometimes I feel a lot. I feel what other people are feeling. I feel myself. And sometimes to a fault, I feel to a place that's not good because I hang in that emotion. And so you need girlfriends who pick you up out of that emotion. Crisette, she is right in the middle. She's a thinker and a feeler. But I love that Crisette is not going to let those emotions cost her. And so we all help each other in different ways. And so we're glad that you're here. Are you a thinker or a feeler? Write it in the chat. Do you think things out or do you feel them out? Two types of people make the world go round. So who are you? All right, we're going back to the show in just a bit. I am Sabrina Goodwin Money from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Talk to you soon. Thank you for being here. Share this broadcast with a girlfriend. We're building our tribe. Bye. Loris Field. Kat, they say you're muted. They're muted. They say you're muted somewhere. You're muted on StreamYard, Facebook.
StreamYard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So thank you. Historic pandemic is unlikely to become the most productive period in your life, nor should you feel pressured to make it so. Take time for self-care and compassion, you guys. Appreciate that nobody is operating at 100% of their full capacity right now. We are all doing the best we can. But I will tell you that it's important in order for us to bring about change in so much of what is needed. We have to walk and operate and move back into operating at our full capacity. So, Crisette, can you talk to us? I mean, we all have seen the loss, but I know I could only imagine. And I know that you work in such a large ministry, the number of loss and the number of people you have had to support during this time, in person, virtually, as well as, in person as well as virtually. How have you focused on winning and kept your mind right so you can continue to win during this time?
Wow, Caterina, that's a heavy question. And I think that, Sabrina did a great job answering it, Gloria. And so as I listened to them, they said a lot of what I was going to say. I'm going to say, I call on the 3G, and I'm not talking about wireless. Okay. I'm talking about, being grounded. Gloria talked about that. It's so important. I'll just say, I don't know how anybody does this and everything that we've gone through without having God in their life. I just don't know how you do it. So being grounded with God is so important to me, to have my faith. And then, giving yourself grace. I just believe that, a lot of stuff, this is the first time we've gone through it. A lot of stuff have gone right. A lot of stuff has gone wrong. And you know what? Give yourself grace. Sometimes we're hardest on ourselves than other people are. So the grace. And then, you know what, you guys, having good friends. Let's talk about it. I mean, I am just so grateful that going through all of this, I have my sisters, and that's great. I can talk to them, but I also have my good girlfriends. And there are times where we're on the phone and we are talking about the issues and things that are going on. But at the end of the day, we always leave encouraged. We encourage each other and inspire each other, because we know, when you are leaders to whom much is given, much has been required. I would say, at the church, we have experienced a lot of loss. And, unfortunately, in this COVID environment, we've not been able to celebrate people the way we would have traditionally celebrated them with their homegoing services. And so one of the things that I have tried to do, especially more now than I probably have done in the past, is when people have lost loved ones, especially through the COVID, and I don't want to just say COVID, because you know what? Sometimes when people pass, the first thing we think, oh, it was COVID, but people are passing from other things, cancer and heart attacks, and the list go on and on. It's just when the dust settles, is to pick up the phone and call and say, I was thinking about you today. And this might be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month after their loved one has passed. And I just want them to know, I know that you're still trying to work through the pain that you're going through. And that right there has been a big encouragement to them, is to reaching out to other people. But I also know that somebody put this billboard up a couple of years ago when we were going through the recession. And I try to remember this in everything that we're going through when it's not good. And the billboard just said, the good thing about the recession is it will end. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so that's just a reminder that even though we're in the midst of very challenging times, we have to always know that there is going to come an end to it. And so we cannot pull the covers over our head. And there are days when I'm like, I just don't feel like getting up. Seriously. But you know what? The more you think about who you are, you have to find the strength to get up and say, you know what, I can't drop the ball. I have to be there, because what I know for sure is people are always watching. And for you, they're watching you and they're like, as strong as Sabrina is, as strong as Caterina and Gloria are, if they can't take it, then, I'm just going to give up. So we have to hold the light for others, because we know that, God is our source and he gives us the strength. But also we have to give ourselves that grace, that there are days where you just don't feel like it. But what I know for sure is the time between how you allow yourself to feel that and the time that you say, okay, shake it off, and you got to keep it moving. And what I know for sure is when you get into action, it really does help to make you feel a little bit better about what you need to do in that particular time and that day.
Yeah, winning it's healing. I mean, honestly, it really is healing. And you learn so much from someone by seeing how they navigate in challenging times. I mean, everybody loves that kind of story when you just see how someone has won against all odds. And we have watched how God has sustained us through this. We have wanted for nothing. And even there's so much opportunity. So we're talking to our audience and telling you that as challenging as it is, there is a lot of opportunity. And you want to see the possibilities. Look at the possibilities. I want to go to you, Sabrina. You talked a little bit before when you were at the Olympic trials, and wow, just hearing the stories of those athletes talking about winning during this time. It has to be challenging with a home full of athletes and watching those Olympic hopefuls, how they are staying focused when they don't have the cheering audience. There's just so many distractions, and the world might even make them think, is this really, is this the most important thing for me to be doing right now? But I could only imagine that it is giving them life, and how it gave you life just sitting there watching them. So can you talk about that?
Yeah. I was just thinking, Kenny left today for Bulgaria. So I'm a little sad because my husband is going far, far away for almost 10 days. And he's going over there to coach Olympic hopefuls. And you can imagine a pandemic year of training for one of the biggest times of their life, where training has not been as usual. They've had to test for COVID before we got the vaccination. They were testing 2-3 times a week. They didn't have their normal training partners. They couldn't go to Colorado Springs to the Olympic Training Center to do their normal training. And so, I mean, when we were all shut down, some of them, all they had was a garage and a jump rope, because they couldn't go to a garage. I mean, they couldn't go to a training facility. Everything was shut down. But you're talking about managing your mind, keeping the dream in front of you, knowing that it's going to happen. Olympics were canceled summer of 2020, but there's a possibility, no guarantees for 2021. But I have to keep my body in shape. I've got to be ahead of my competition. I've got to continue to think, where might I end up? And so those athletes, no matter what it looked like, they had to still get out there and train. The college campuses, they had a piece of a wrestling season. It wasn't business as usual. So many times we were supposed to wrestle somebody, and you know what? A team had a breakout, a COVID outbreak. And so we had to cancel that dual meet. So many basketball teams, football teams. It's just been a really, really different year. Gloria, somebody says, where's Gloria? Gloria had to drop off, you guys. Her internet is crazy. She just said she'll see us tomorrow. She'll be ready for us tomorrow. I know you guys missed. Every time a girlfriend drops, you wonder, where is she? Where is she? And so do know this, you guys. What I found in watching Kenny train, even the physical part of wrestling, it was more mental talk to his athletes, keeping the mind strong, thinking about the next best thing, believing in the possibilities, not the impossible, not what might not happen, because they had to train not knowing if there was going to be an Olympics or not this year. And so with my boys, Quincy had to sit out this year. Well, we chose to sit out at Princeton because we didn't know what it was going to be. Kennedy put together a piece of a season, but it was managing the mind, keeping them strong in their mind, thinking about possibilities, not looking at the cup half empty, but half full. It's tough out there for everybody, you guys. And the thing is, some people are thinking we're over. We are right smack dab in the middle of this pandemic. It is not over. Only 28% of us have been fully vaccinated in the USA. So we still got a lot of work to do. I think it's important that you make a decision to take action. That's what I learned from Kenny. He just strapped up, went to practice every day the best he could. When he couldn't go in the gym, he was coaching them on the phone, coaching them on Zoom. That's what I was doing in my business, continuing to do the best you can with what you have to work with. So to our listeners, call in at 313-778-7600. How have you kept the train moving? Even when the world seemed like it was spinning and spinning fast and out of control, how did you stay in control and keep the main thing the main thing? One of Kenny's mantras is focus on the focus. And that's what every time I see myself getting out of myself, I go back, bring myself in to focus on the focus, make an action list. Make an action list, things that are going to make me feel like I won today. Maybe it's 2 things. Maybe it's 1 thing. On the days I'm feeling good, it's 5 to 10 things. But make a list that spins you into action.
You know, as you were talking, Sabrina, my app popped up. This has been an app I've downloaded since COVID, and it popped up and said, every day I attract more brightness into my life. I am able to liberate myself from my past and live with peace and calm. And this app is called, what is it called?
I am.
The app.
The I am app.
I am app. The I am app. And that is a little example of what I've done just during this time. It seems to always pop up at a great time. Let's talk about corporations. Corporations have realized this, and you know, they have realized they've got to be sensitive to what people are doing. As you get back to work, it can't just be the same situation. So how has goal setting changed with motivating in the employment environment? So a couple things that are taking place. Number one, they are suggested to survey teams to gauge morale. It's been a tough year and employees have a lot on their minds. Some might be returning after months of unemployment, be grappling with anxiety and some of the challenges they've had. Those feelings, coupled with the fact that returning to work can be an emotionally charged experience, means you may need to tweak the scope of certain goals depending on the individual. That might mean softening SMART goal criteria. So that is one of the things. Another thing that they're shifting on here is encouraging people to do one thing at a time. Sometimes we pile so much on ourselves, and we never do well with multitasking. So employers really understanding there's always a deficit, especially when you find it difficult to focus. It might be beneficial to devote all your energy to one task at a time. That means resisting the compulsion to toggle back and forth between social media, news, work, and all the different things. Commit to reading the news, or that might be one thing you have to do is read less news. Some people have chosen to turn it off, and I have chosen not to turn it off because seriously, there's so much important things that are going on. One other thing is look at how you might need to adjust your schedule. I've done that. I said to Anthony, my schedule is not our schedule. Anthony, my husband, our schedule is not going to look as crazy and as hectic as it's looked in the past. People's productivity waxes and wanes. 4 hours of maximum productivity gets as much done as 8 hours of fluctuating. So employers are looking at giving people opportunities to, weave it in and not just stay there 10 hours at a desk, which is what so many managers and supervisors have done in the past. So, Chris, just you're so good at keeping it light. You're always affirming. You're always looking up. You have such an ability to look at the bright side and at the same time being very compassionate. We pause, we call, we're concerned about what is taking place, but then we get right back up. And baby, image is a part of winning, right? Because when you don't look good,
that's true. That's so true.
What are some of the things in your personal practice that, when you feel yourself maybe slipping, how do you get yourself back on track so you can keep winning?
Well, the very first thing, and Sabrina said it when she was talking about the athletes, is, winning and losing is in the mind. It all begins with your mind. What you think about, you bring about. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And so we have to really learn how to manage what we are thinking. And, one of the things that I have learned, and one of my favorite authors and doctors is Dr. Caroline Leaf, and she talks about the power of our mind. And sometimes we think as soon as a thought comes, we got to get rid of it. And one of the things that she teaches is you have to acknowledge that you're feeling a certain emotion. And so I think that's important. I'm feeling sad, or all the emotions that you put up earlier, Caterina. I'm feeling a little down. I'm feeling a little anxious. And so you acknowledge that. I believe it's important to confront it. And then the thing that I have learned in reading her is that we can't control all of the thoughts that comes to our mind, because we just can't. However, the thing that we can manage, the thing that we can control, is how long we meditate on that thing. Because what I know for sure as women, I always say we are incubators. So we carry, God gave us a womb so that we could carry a baby, the seed that is fertilized in us. And so whatever is dropped in our spirit, the more we think about it, the more we water it, the more it grows. And so we have to be very careful about our thoughts and how long we're going to meditate on it. So you acknowledge that I'm feeling a little sad, and then you have to make a decision. I don't want to be sad all day, because sadness turns into other things. It turns into depression. And before you know it, 24 hours have gone and you've allowed yourself to be sad. So I think the first thing is acknowledging how you feel, and then making a decision to say, okay, I'm going to move out of that. And what I have found, one of the ways quickly to get you out of that is to help somebody else, or find an opportunity to encourage somebody, because it's hard to encourage somebody and still be caught up in, the negativity or how you're feeling. So I think that's really important. I am so big on affirmations, you guys, and that app is awesome, Caterina. So I definitely encourage people, if you have not downloaded the I Am app, that is really a great app. I'm very big, as I said, on affirmations. I totally believe in the power of speaking to yourself, speaking life over yourself, encouraging yourself. That's good. And then, I think you have to take time to do things for yourself. I recently, and because my girlfriends was talking about, I was telling them I was so pent up with, my shoulders, and you're on Zoom all the time. I hadn't had a massage in a long time, right? And, I heard Sabrina talk about, I got my massage. Gloria gets one every other week, it seems like. So I said, hey, I'm getting ready to get me some massages. And so, hey, I put myself on a schedule to have a massage every single month. And, some may say, well, I can't afford to do that. It doesn't have to be a massage. Find something that's going to bring you joy, something that's going to pull you out of a negative pace. Whether it is, sometimes you just, as a what do we call an introvert? What are we?
Ambivert.
Ambivert. As an ambivert, let me tell you something. Listen, you guys know I'm looking for a new house, and let's be clear. Mama ain't getting a house that don't have a beautiful bathtub for me to take a bath and soak. Because that's where, I get my energy. That's where I just relax. Okay. So I think that's important, when you are, still trying to win when the world is filled with chaos. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because if you allow yourself to stay in a place of negativity, what's going to happen is it just spirals out of control. And I always say, one of the things I'm also big on is that people are always watching you. Even when you don't know, they are watching you, especially, those of you that might have young children in the house, or teenagers in the house, young adults in the house. They are watching how you are managing all of this and how you are continuing to stay focus. And even though it's craziness going on all around us, I truly believe that you can remain focused. It just has to be a decision. And lastly, and I'll turn it back to you, is surround yourself with people that are focused. Surround yourself with people who are winning in this chaotic time, because iron sharpens iron. You know, when I see my friends still doing well, it encourages me to say, get your butt up. You ain't trying to be, left out, because people are, being successful in this environment that we're in. So I think your circle of friends is very, very important, because if they can do it, I truly believe they encourage you and inspire you to be able to succeed as well.
Yeah, you got to keep winning, y'all. You got to keep winning, because I forget the name of the comedian that does that grocery store skit, but in his voice, I say, because what you don't want to do is stop winning, because then you're going to have two problems. Okay. It's
right.
Like I'm talking to a woman who is, going through a challenging divorce, and she's trying to not wanting to win in business. And I'm like, well, then you're going to have two problems. You're going to have a money problem and a divorce problem. So keep on winning, you guys. I'm going to give you some tips and pass it back to you, Sabrina. Some of the things you can do is just start by setting some small specific goals. Don't just be vague. For 30 minutes, this is what I want to accomplish. Huge to keep you winning. Take breaks, or even moving. Those of us that are working from home, moving your office outdoors, sitting outside is huge, can help give you perspective. The accountability partners make a big, big, big difference. Accountability partners, folks that you can connect with. Fast track giving. If you are in a position that you work with a team, create some recognition, some fun wins that are going to happen when you hit some short-term goals, where you guys might, do some fun things, whether it's virtual or in person, even grab ice cream together, sit outside, create some just one stretch goal at a time. Be kind to yourself, not too many things, but one, some short term, but then a stretch goal. And this is another one, use some shared goals to spur collaboration. You could do this with your family. You could do this with your team, even with kids. I've learned the importance of getting, those of you, I've done this with my grandkids, where they make themselves a little goal poster, and you laminate it, and they eat on their goals. And so it's like, these are the things that we want to focus on. We have, Michael, do we have a caller there?
Yes.
Oh, we do. We do. I didn't see your text, Michael.
So you know what?
Gloria, are you there?
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on the air.
Hello, Gloria, are you there?
Okay, maybe we
I am so sorry. I think that I didn't see that text. So, Damari, if you want to give us a call back, we definitely want to hear from you on We Got Issues. There's some great things that are coming up in the chat too. Patricia Wright Lanehart on Facebook says, self-care makes a difference. I've not taken care of myself for a long time because I have been taking care of everyone else. And that's huge. You cannot keep winning if your health is not in shape. Your health is your wealth. And so I'm preaching to myself, y'all. You've got to get outside. And yeah, I know I said I've chosen not to turn the news off. What I mean by that is not just to tune out totally, but there are days I have made a conscious effort to consume less, because just the focus, the time of pouring yourself into the service of others, there's going to be less time for consuming news and all the time. And let's just talk. Sabrina, how have you chosen to look at the positives, even in the challenge? Yesterday's show was so just, oh my gosh. And to hear how she has turned it in such a challenging, tragic experience, in everything, God can cause it to work together for our good. So how do you use some of those challenges as actually fuel to help you win and help others win?
Yeah, I think life, oh my goodness, life is a big lesson. Life is a big lesson. And everything that we're dealt, I think we glean from that to get better. My grandmother, of course, who lived to be 102 years old, really wasn't sick at the end of her life, always giving us lessons. And she always talked about being better, not bitter. Because, like Zay told us yesterday, when her mother looked at her and said, I can't wait to see who you're going to become when you come on the other side of this. And so I just want our listeners and our viewers to look at us and know that there are peaks and valleys in every life. Trust. And so what we've chosen to do, though, is take the life lesson and learn from it and become better. And so I just always like to look at the positive side of things. I believe that we serve a God who is a God of promise. And I know that some of you have been through hell and back, but you have made the decision that I'm going to be better for it. I'm going to fight this good fight. I'm going to turn this darkness into light and just become better because of it. And I really do believe, you guys, in this pandemic, if you have not gotten to know yourself at a different level than going into this pandemic, you have wasted a year of your life. This has given us a time to be still. It's given us a time to reflect like never before. And I tell everybody I meet, if your goal is not to come out better on the other side of it, you've wasted a lot of time. And so this is the no excuse zone. The no excuse zone in this pandemic to become better in every area. And I mean, that's better with your image, better with your attitude, better with your financial situation, better. You want better because God has promised it to us. Now, if you're sitting around just letting life take you out, that's a choice you've made. We all have a choice.
We got one caller, Dolores. And
okay, let's go to Dolores. Let's go to the phone lines.
We want to hear from Dolores. We're going to go to the phone lines. Dolores, we thank you for calling. We got issues. We want to hear
from you. How have you chosen to win during this time? Your comment. Okay. Thank you so much for taking my call. And one thing that I have done, and I'm just so grateful that I have a relationship with God. And He has sustained me during the pandemic and even before the pandemic. And I'm so grateful for all the things that you ladies are sharing, because these things are very powerful that can help us, each and every one of us, as we go through this season. And I know that the main thing I'm focused on is through. That means that I'm going through this. That means I'm going to come out on the other side, and I'm going to come out on the other side. Because God's word say all things come together for the good. That's Him. Always going to His purpose. And I'm standing on His promises. And when I get those times when I really start to pull it down, I pull inside of me the word that I've hidden in my heart to encourage myself. And I'm so grateful for His love, His mercy, His grace, His word, His spirit, and for the G for God, G for girl, G for gold. And not only am I blessed with a beautiful family that supports me, but I know they all have their own lives to live. They have a spiritual family. I'm grateful for them. And you, the ladies of the Superstation, you all have been such a blessing to me. And my Mary Kay sisterhood, oh my God. When one day I was throwing it down, and I said, push to your purpose. You got to get on the call. Mary Kay sisterhood. And then I get that and just going on, doing the things I know to do, keep it moving. I'm moving on, and I felt even better. And I stay focused, and I have goals. I try to write down goals every day. So I'm pulling from so many people, so many sources, and from the Word of God, and spending time early in the morning with Him, to in His face, speak in His face, to hear His voice, and hear the step of the way, to lead me and guide me. So, I'm not sound like I'm all over the place, but I'm just saying. No, Lord, you are telling it. And honestly, as you look throughout history and scripture, this could be one of the reasons that God allowed this time is because it has caused us to talk to Him, to have conversations consistently. I mean, in a deeper and in many ways, for many Christians, a richer way. And so I thank you so much for bringing that to the table. It sounds like you are really winning and creating an amazing environment in your home for everyone in your household to win. Thank you. And thank you, ladies, so much for what you're doing every day. Thank you. So welcome. So welcome. Thanks for being a loyal listener to Laura. We appreciate you. I love her.
Thank you so much for calling in. You know, she said so many things that was so rich. But one of the things that I could hear as she was talking is about counting your blessings. Counting your blessings. You know, it's so hard to stay in the funk when you take a moment to say, let me count my blessings. The fact that I'm still alive, I'm blessed. The fact that I have a roof over my head, I'm blessed. The fact that I have food to eat. I mean, when you start counting your blessings, it's really, really hard for you to stay in a place of sadness, a place of woe is me. And so I think that's important as we are making a decision to win while we're in a world of chaos, you know, to take a moment to count our blessings and just to be so thankful and grateful. Because what I know for sure is everybody has situations and circumstances that are going on in their life, but there's always somebody else that got more going on, more challenges. And you know what? Sometimes when you look at what's going on in other people's lives, you're just thankful for the problems that you have, because I think that God gives all of us grace to handle the situations that we will encounter. So just always remaining grateful and thankful. I think if you want to be a winner, remain thankful and grateful. Just when you want to complain, you have to say to yourself, nope, I'm going to remain thankful and grateful, because that literally will make a difference in your attitude and how you view the things that are happening around you.
This has been such a rich conversation. It's so great. I appreciate all of the comments on Facebook and hearing. I do want to say we would not be doing a service if we didn't say, for those of you that are out there that are feeling, I'm really trying. I'm trying to focus. I really want this, but you've noticed some difference. You might consider asking for help. There's nothing wrong with that. This has been real, and we all have experienced something called caution fatigue. But for some people, that caution fatigue can turn into a true depression, or even some other things that are taking place. And so we've had shows where we've had therapists on, and so many of us, there are folks out there. I had a conversation even today with a family member who may really need to get back on track, may need to seek some help. So I just want to say, I don't want anybody out there who's listening to be beating themselves up saying, I'm trying to win, I want to stay focused, and I'm not able to. If you or someone you love starts to experience any of these feelings, if you feel you're just down about it or in a negative space and haven't been able to get back on track to your normal, as you might say, winning self, then or dealing with this chronic stress, definitely seek help. But we want to be, as the girlfriends, we hope that the lessons we've given you today will make a difference in your win. You know what? Go to our Facebook page, theforceoffriendship.com. Go to our website, theforceoffriendship.com. Go to our Facebook page, tag us. Why not do a post about how you're winning and tag the Force of Friendship? And let's just spread love, spread light, and continue to share these lessons. Someone said in the chat, they wish this was taught in school. Y'all, do you know how many teachers needed this? How many doctors needed this? How many nurses? How many people just need this? Seniors need this, because it's never too early and it's never too late to keep winning. Tomorrow is going to be another good, juicy show. You got us here at 9:10 a.m., the Superstation, WFDF, and we appreciate you. We even appreciate Michael in the back, keeping us sounding and looking good. We appreciate you, Michael. We will talk to y'all tomorrow on We Got Issues. Go out there and win today.
Bye, y'all. All right, great show, Kat. Good show, good show, good show.
Great show.
Okay. Are we still talking to Facebook? Caterina, I think you're muted on Facebook, are you?
Yeah, I was muted because I was talking to Michael still.
Okay.
And then Siri, this is me on the show today. Siri kept talking about you got 14 appointments tomorrow. Okay, that's not because I'm winning. Okay, Siri, nobody asked me what my calendar looked like tomorrow.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Yes. It was good. Thank the girlfriends. Every time when we host the show, we put it together. We come up with our own topics. So we want to continue to hear from you. What other topics would you like to hear from us? And we're bringing it heavy. We're bringing it light. We're bringing it real. And so we appreciate y'all for listening. Good comments in the chat. So looking good. Chris, you got your blouse on too. Did it turn cold in Detroit?
No, not really.
Not really. Yeah.
No, it's pretty decent. Yeah, we got good weather today. Overcast though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys, tomorrow, just a sneak preview. I'm going to be the host for tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about conspiracies, alternative truth. What are some of the conspiracies that you have heard during this pandemic? What are some of the conspiracies that you bought into? What are some of the things that was passed to you and you passed it on just to find out none of it was true? We want to know. We want to hear from you. So tomorrow, tune in. It's going to be a good show.
I'm going to go through my TikTok. I got them all tagged, all my conspiracies. All right. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right. See you later. Bye. Bye-bye.